you guys grew up in the same house, though. Is that right?
Very exact same house.
So you guys really have a really similar life story.
Very much, bro. Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
I didn't sell as much. I wasn't as successful in the dope game as my father, but I walked those paths. And as his friends, I did a lot of unnecessary I didn't have to do. But again, like I told you, that comes from pain. My dad had a respect to where he wasn't even, wasn't no need for him to lift a finger. You feel what I'm saying? Me, I figured like I was going to go prove that. I'm going to lift 10 fingers and just be me, trying to live on the edge, you know what I mean? So, but basically, yes, the same exact life, same room, same house, same parents, and everything. Same attitude, same things I do, eat the same, do certain things the same, you know what I mean? Like, you don't notice until it's like I grew up with the woman that raised him and birthed him. So when she's telling you like, oh, your daddy used to do that, like, wow. Oh, your daddy did that, whoa. You know what I mean? Oh, it makes sense. Wow.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that's
real
cool.
Talk, brother. Yeah, real talk.
What was high school like for you?
High school, like I say, in the beginning of high school, you kind of run away from the pain. So I went through high school the first year or two, and I didn't want nobody to know who I was. I didn't want you to know who my daddy was. I didn't even want that attention. You know what I mean? And so it's like crazy because, I think about it now with my kids, and we're going to like the mall, or I'm shopping with her, and she might see me stop, take pictures. Dad. And at a point in time, like, wow, you know what? I didn't trip off. I was just like that. Like, I didn't want people to know at all. I used to do roll call, like, Eric Wright, Eazy E, huh? Like, got the same E, like, huh? And I'd be shocked, like, huh? And my coach would be like, you got the same name as Eazy. You ever thought about that? I was like, and I seriously, literally did that. You know what I'm saying? Literally,
really?
He eventually found out who I was, because I left the school, and then I did a XXL article with Daz Dillinger. So when I was 16 years old, and that's when XXL first came out. So, but I was gone this time and transferred to my home school, which everybody I grew up with. So they all know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's E. But my first school was in Long Beach, and then, you know what I mean? I just kind of stayed away from that, And then you go through that transition where you want to embrace what you come from. You're hearing all this music, and you hear all this respect to Tupac and Biggie and this, that, and the other in my time, in my era. And it's like, well, my daddy was the first one really to get it cracking. You know what I'm saying? My daddy was it. And then as a son, you just feel like you take on your duty to represent what you are and what you name. You embrace it the proper way. You know what I mean? And not embracing it, again, like I just tell you, was just pain. You know what I mean? I don't want you to talk about, what this was. I don't want to talk about it, what I mean? But every kid goes through that. You don't want to bring that up, what I mean? It just hurt, like, oh, well, how do you feel this? Or why are you in Compton? And why this? And why you guys don't live in like a mansion and this, that, and the other? All retarded, stupid questions you could get as a kid. You just didn't want to sit on it. You know what I mean? One girl asked me, did I have AIDS before she wanted to take my virginity? So it's a lot of stuff that was just like a person would imagine that I went through. So hiding away from it was a norm until I embraced it. Like, fuck this. This is what I miss them. You know what I mean? This is who I am. I'm getting told I look like them a lot more. You act like them, you know what I mean? You're running around doing the same thing with them, you know what I mean? So at this point in time, you're kind of growing into that, my mold. Like, this is me,
What did you do after high school?
Oh, man. 2 days after I graduated, I moved to sell dope in Las Vegas. So continues that life. And then that's when I had a studio. I built a studio off of it. I had a record store, and one night I was just in the studio. I had artists at the time that the company was thinking of doing, and not me, solely hands-on with it. And they were like, "Hey, get in the booth and see what you could do." So I should just go and remake my daddy's song. So you know what I mean, like instead of saying his verses, I switch it, which is not hard because it's Eric is Eric. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So. Other than that, you just switch it to different stuff you say, different words, a new generation of where we're at, where our hood is at. And that was the first thing. An person was like, whoa. So from that point on, I just started doing music.
Were you still on the streets at this time?
Nah, man. I went from a dope spot to a condo, to a bigger condo, to a house. So I was living in Las Vegas, driving my grandma crazy. 3 days after graduating, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, where are you going? I'm going to Las Vegas. You know what I mean? And then my homies in Las Vegas who were older than me that had me out there. And not to say they had me on a bad path. It's just a path that I decided to pick up on. You know what I mean? I can't look around and see you guys selling birds and all that and don't feel like I want to do something and sell something this big and make that much money? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does this shit do? You feel what I'm saying? So having understanding of it when I was younger in Compton, is just now going in Vegas, it's like on a big scale. You know what I'm saying? So nah, I was living. You know, they got raided. You know, all good slash bad things come to an end. You feel what I'm saying? So we got in trouble, and I went back to Compton, right back on the block. We call it the Ave, where I'm born and raised, and then just kind of pursued a record deal from that point on. I was like, hey, I'm kind of done with this. This shit was kind of scary. Them federal police coming and having cameras and microphones all inside your stuff, and we were here talking about a lot of stuff like that, and the whole time they was listening to us. Like, yeah, my homeboys did about 10 years apiece, you know what I mean? And I skipped town and never even wanted to look back at Vegas, you feel what I'm saying? And kind of just lived my life in Compton and got a deal maybe about less than a year later.
So you got a deal early.
Yeah, very much, 20 years old, yeah.